Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome aboard if you're new, and welcome to DCS. This is something I've been wanting to do for a very long time on my own, and also something I've wanted to do on the channel. And, that's actually just getting into this game. I spent a very long time playing War Thunder, not as long as a lot of people, but long enough. And even as a War Thunder player, I watched more DCS content on YouTube than War Thunder content, just because I found DCS to be more interesting and I'm more into the sim experience myself. And recently I saw a couple of videos from another content creator by the name of callsign Exodus. I'll pin a link to their channel down in the comments. Check them out. They've got some pretty cool DCS content, and I believe they do live streaming and stuff also. So give them a look. Definitely worth it. And a couple of the videos they recently posted. One is a video about why most new DCS players quit early, and the other is about 5 things that they would do differently if they started DCS today with what they know now. And both of those videos were actually really informative, and honestly, they kind of inspired me to give DCS a try. I had to create a bit of room. I don't have a lot of storage, and DCS is a bit of a chunky boy when it comes to games, so we'll see how it goes. Kind of a mid-ish computer, not super great. Hopefully it'll run all right. I have loaded this up. I set up controls and stuff. I'm not in a position where I'll be able to buy planes, so we're going to be limited to what's free. And I did a little bit of research, and the A4E came highly recommended, so we're going to give that a try. All right, and then along with what I already know and with advice from the videos I mentioned before, I got my controls set up. I did some research kind of on where they are in the cockpit. Got a little bit of a frame rate issue here, probably because I'm recording at the same time, but that'll be okay, I hope. So I've kind of familiarized myself a bit with the cockpit, with what I will need for today's goal. So one of the pieces of advice I'm going to try and take to heart is don't get in over my head. I don't try and take on too much at once. I'm going to try and go step by step and master each thing, because even though I'm familiar with, flight sims and games like War Thunder, this isn't like War Thunder. There's a lot more manual control here. It's not as automated. It's not as arcadey. So it takes a lot of research, learning how to, set your plane up and get it ready. And that's why I wanted to go with a cold start, because that's going to get me, right at the very beginning. And when I master that, then we can move on. So I think for today, what I'm going to do is my goal is going to be to get through the cold start sequence, get the jet running, taxi to the runway, and take off. I would like to try landing, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Chances are I'm probably going to lose track of the airfield. It looks like it's getting kind of dark, but we'll see what happens when we get there. So let me see here. What else do we got? I did make a really short checklist. I will try and remember and put just a quick image of it up in the corner so you can see what I'm going by. It's a very basic, just quick checklist, because I want to try and do as much as I can from memory. I did watch a quick walkthrough video of the cold start kind of process. I watched through that a couple of times, made a quick checklist of what I need to do, and I'm going to try and do as much as I can from memory, because if I do it that way, I'm going to remember it easier, and that way I won't have to look at a checklist at all in the future, except for verification of what I'm doing, if that makes sense. So we're going to go ahead and start with that. So we'll get started and see if I can manage to take off. I will be using my controller today. I do have a decent stick and throttle. If this is a game that I dig, then I'll get the stick and throttle out. I just have it stored right now because I don't have a whole lot of room to keep it on the desk. So we're going to use a controller. It's a bit easier to set up just for a quick thing like this. So, all right. Hopefully I can figure out what's causing my throttle to go up on its own. It might be something wrong with my controller. We'll have to see. But we're going to go through this list and see if we can't get this started up and take off. So we're going to get ground power going from the ground crew. Alright.
Copy.
And then we're going to wait for this light down here to turn on, meaning we've got power.
Ground power is now on.
Alright, there we go. We've got power. We're going to start the engine. And we're going to watch the RPM. When it gets to 5, we're going to switch this up to ignition. And then at 15, we're going to switch it to idle. And I'm going to have to make sure it doesn't go up on its own because it keeps going up past idle. Alright, see, it automatically went up past there. Oh, yep, it's creeping up on its own. Looks like I've got a bit of stick drift. Give me 1 second just to get that fixed here. I wish I could see it a bit better, but I think what we'll do is we'll just add a bit of dead zone to it, see if that works. Okay, there we go. Now it doesn't look like it's going up on its own. So hopefully the RPM can stop at about 55. Why are we moving? I'm gonna have to check and see. I must have messed up something in the settings for the brakes. That's one thing, is trying to find things in the controls. Maybe I can just get the ground crew to chalk the wheels for now until I
Chief, place the wheel chocks. Copy.
for some reason I'm just wanting to roll. Alright. Definitely not the best solution, but we'll make it work for now. It could just be that my stick's messing things up. Alright, next on the list. To get our radar on standby, our AOA on, our AFCS on standby, our oxygen on. Trying to do as much of this by memory as I can. Get it on standby, radio on. Lights on. Let's see, is there anything else? We got some taxi and lights on. Okay, we're not rolling away yet. Our RPMs are high enough, we should be able to get our power disconnected.
Chief, turn off the ground power.
Get our canopy closed. There we go. We're going to get our flaps to half. There we go. What else? Pitch trim. Nope, wrong way. We'll go for about 6. I think it said 6 to 8. We're not carrying any armament right now, so we're going to be pretty light. Let's see, what else is there? There is... stability augmentation on, I believe. Radar altitude on. And I think that's about it for just the basics. Let's see if we can manage to taxi and take off. Let's get these wheel chocks out.
Chief, remove the wheel chocks.
Now we're staying fairly still. Okay. Come on. Are they going to remove the wheel chocks?
jocks.
Why are they not removing them? Is it because the engine's running? No, they put them on there with them. What is the deal? Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna see if I can do this. You'll have to let me know in the comments. Obviously, that would help, because I'm just gonna restart this real quick.
Chief, turn on the ground power. Copy.
This time we're gonna go through it quick. Hopefully,
Ground power is
it'll be good practice. Okay, that time it didn't jump forward. So maybe it'll stay there this time. Alright. I guess I could just hold the brakes while I do this. Alright, let's get this turned on. So radar on standby. On. System on. Now on standby. Radio on. Some lights on out there. Some lights on here. Radar. On. Let's see what else. Alright, we're good on that. Let's go. Power disconnected.
Chief, turn off the ground power.
What am I missing?
Ground power is now on.
Let's get our flaps down. Alright. So we need to get stability augmentation on. I think that's it for this for now. Just for basics. Let's see if it's going to start rolling on its own. Alright, looking like it's okay, so let's go ahead and get it in. Get the throttle here, we don't want too much. Right now I've got the wheel brakes bound to the stick right now to make it kind of easier to steer. Coasting nice slow speed here. Definitely don't want to go too fast while in taxi. But if I go too slow, it'll make it hard to steer, so kind of want a nice middle ground. And then we'll see if I can manage to actually take off. Shouldn't be too difficult if I remember right. Nice, clear for takeoff. If I remember right, the A4 is pretty easy to take off in, so this should be a good starter plane for me. Alright, let's, you know what, let's just do it. I got everything set up, I think. So we're going to accelerate down the runway. Get up to speed here. And then get ready, get it off the ground. Get our gear up. Get our flaps up. Yeah, in the air. Alright. Now, once my flaps are up, get some speed. Trim it out a little bit if we need to. We'll see. Like climbing a bit, so we'll trim it down some. I made sure to set up these controls beforehand, or not set them up, I'm using the default, but to take note of them, because this isn't, a super modern jet, so it's gonna not be all fancy fly-by-wire. Oh, look at this. How nice is this flying an actual flight simulator for once? I can still use a bit of trim, but that's okay. Yeah, so I'm liking this. I think this might be worth playing some more. If you're interested in seeing me play DCS and seeing my journey learning how to play it and how to fly in it, think about giving me a sub. Let me know down in the comments. Give me tips. Whatever you think would be useful to know. I would be more than happy to accept any sort of knowledge. I enjoy learning and I love jets, so. Big old U-turn. Ooh. Okay, I'm definitely going to need to soften my controls a bit. We got a runway down here. Let's see if we can land. Get the flaps down, our speed down, get our gear out. And we are going to try and land. Now, other sim games, like War Thunder and stuff, I can land pretty easily in sim mode, but this is a lot more realistic in how it works. And I'm not sure what speed I need to be at to land this because I didn't look it up yet. I was just planning on trying to take off. This is a bonus treat, so I'm just going to try and keep enough thrust to keep it falling out of the sky, but I don't want to be going too fast when I land because, well, I have a feeling it's going to be a rough landing anyway, so. Yep, I know the ground's there. Thank you. Oh, I need to trim this some. And I land it. Brakes, brakes, brakes. That was a very fast landing, but I think I did it. Did I manage to do it? I don't know if this has a parachute or not. I should have looked. What is that on the runway? Okay. Come on, slow down. Yeah, I need to adjust my buttons for braking. Come on, I just need to come to a full stop. Okay. think we did it. I managed to take off and land from a cold start. I'm pretty proud of that. So yeah, anyways, let me know in the comments below if you want to see more, if you got any tips for me, if you think I should just give up DCS and forget about it, whatever you want to say. And until next time, take care, be safe, and I will see you later.